right, Bears Nation, buckle up, because what's coming could blow the roof off this city. The GM is being linked to a $100 million pass rusher who wrecks offenses and whose relationship with his current team is completely broken. But to bring him in, we need cap space. And here's where it gets wild. Our veteran tight end just admitted he might be traded, along with another high-priced player. That's $25 million freed up, ruthless decisions. And just when you think we're done, a legend might be coming back to Chicago to chase the one thing we never got together, a championship. 3 massive stories that could shape our future. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, because this is just getting started. First story, Max Crosby. Ryan Poles is being tied to the boldest move any GM could make this offseason. We're talking about Max Crosby, the $100 million pass rusher from the Raiders. Yeah, you heard that right. $100 million. Let me lay it out for you. After years of watching our pass rush vanish in the biggest moments, after watching Khalil Mack head to LA, after suffering through D-lines that couldn't get pressure even with a GPS, Poles is eyeing the guy who terrorized every offensive tackle he lined up against this season. Bleacher Report spelled it out clearly. The biggest name likely to be linked to them all off-season is Max Crosby. And you know what? That's not a coincidence. This is coming out right when the tension between Crosby and the Raiders is boiling over. Did you see what went down at the end of the season in Vegas? That relationship is toast, completely broken. And when a guy with that kind of motor, that kind of war dog mentality becomes available, what's Poles supposed to do? Sit back and watch someone else grab him? I don't think so. I think Poles sees what we all see, a once-in-a-generation chance to build something special. Think about this for a second. Montez Sweat had 10 sacks this season. 10! Solid! Exactly what we expected. But now imagine putting Max Crosby on the other side. 10 sacks in 2025 too, and he's had double-digit sacks in 3 of the last 4 seasons. You know what that means for opposing offenses? It means Aaron Rodgers is going to have to pick his poison. It means Sam Darnold's going to be seeing ghosts all over again. It means Jared Goff, who's already having nightmares after what we did to him in the playoffs, is going to need therapy after facing us twice a year. Let me ask you this. When was the last time the Bears had 2 elite pass rushers at the same time? You remember that feeling? I do. I remember when Mack was wrecking offenses by himself. That was with 1 superstar. Now we're talking about 2. But here's the tricky part, and we got to be real about it. Crosby's cap hit in 2026 is $35.8 million. That's not pocket change. That's a massive financial commitment that's going to affect other parts of the roster. And you know what? I'm telling you right now, it's worth every damn penny. Because when you're 2 wins away from a Super Bowl, like we were this season, when you've got Caleb Williams heading into year 2 with Ben Johnson calling plays, when your championship window is wide open, you can't play it safe. You can't be cautious. You got to go all in. The Packers didn't play it safe when they built their dynasty. The Niners didn't play it safe when they built that monster defense. And we can't either. Crosby isn't just a stat sheet guy. He's a tone setter, a natural leader, the kind of player who raises the level of everyone around him. His motor never stops. His durability is legendary. His impact goes way beyond the numbers. And here's the craziest part. For the first time in years, the Chicago Bears are in a position to make this kind of move. We're not rebuilding anymore. We're not stockpiling picks or developing young talent. We're competing. We're winning. We're a couple pieces away from running the NFC North for the next 5 years. I believe Poles is going to pull the trigger. I believe he'll find a way to make the numbers work. Because this is the kind of move that defines careers, that defines eras, that separates good GMs from legendary ones. Picture it, draft day, or sometime in the off-season, and the alert hits. Chicago Bears acquire Max Crosby from the Raiders. This city would erupt. Soldier Field would shake. The energy would be off the charts. And it's not just about what Crosby would do on the field. It's about what he represents. He represents that this organization finally gets what it takes to win in Chicago. He represents that we're willing to do whatever it takes to bring the Lombardi Trophy back where it belongs. Because let's be real, this city, these fans, this team, We deserve more than almost. We deserve more than nice try. We deserve a championship. And Max Crosby brings us one giant step closer to that goal. So what do you think? Is the financial risk worth it? Are you ready to see Crosby in navy and orange, wrecking offences at Soldier Field? Second story, Cole Kmet and DJ Moore. If that surprised you, wait till you hear this, because what's coming is uncomfortable, it's tough, and it's something we absolutely need to talk about. Cole Kmet just said out loud what we've all been thinking quietly. The longest tenured tight end on this offense, the guy who's been here since 2020, who's seen the highs and lows of this franchise, just admitted publicly that he knows he could be traded. And not just him, DJ Moore is in that conversation too. It's definitely very real, Kmet told 104.3 The Score. I know it's real because I've seen it happen before. That's just the nature of the business in this league. Those words hit hard. They hit because Kmet is one of our guys. He's been loyal, he's worked his tail off, he's done everything asked of him. But here's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to say out loud. Sometimes football is a brutal business. Let me break down the numbers, because numbers don't lie. If the Bears trade Cole Kmet, they free up $8.4 million with $3.2 million in dead money. If they move DJ Moore, they free up $16.5 million with $12 million in dead money. That's nearly $25 million in cap space. $25 million that could help bring in Max Crosby. $25 million that could shore up our secondary. $25 million that could be the difference between being good and being champions. And here's the part that stings the most. Neither of these guys played poorly. Kmet was a solid blocker all year. Moore, even with lower numbers than expected, was still a reliable vet who knows the system. But here's the issue. In Ben Johnson's first year running the offense, both guys saw their roles shrink. Colston Loveland, our first-round rookie tight end, ended up with more catches and more yards than Kmet. Luther Burden and Rome Odunze became the go-to guys in the passing game, leaving Moore with the worst statistical season of his career. 85 targets for Moore, just 50 catches, 682 yards. For a guy making WR1 money, those are WR3 numbers. Kmet had 48 targets, 30 catches, 347 yards. Meanwhile, Loveland had 82 targets and 713 yards. So let me ask you this. If you're Ryan Poles and you're looking at those numbers and you know you need cap space to upgrade the defense, what do? I'll tell you this. It's a brutal decision, but it's the right one. Because here's the reality Kmet himself acknowledged. Unfortunately, as you get older, you get more expensive and you might not fit that puzzle piece anymore. That's just the nature of the business. He's right, completely right. And that's what makes this so tough. Look, I love Cole Kmet. I love what he stands for in this franchise. I love his work ethic, his professionalism, the way he's handled every situation thrown at him. When asked about his future, he didn't complain, didn't point fingers. He just said, personally, I felt like I did a lot of good things this year in the role I had. I had a lot of fun playing with this team. That's the kind of class we want in Chicago. That's the mindset we need. But sometimes, even the good guys, even the ones who do everything right, become victims of the numbers game. And DJ Moore, man, this one's tough. Moore came here as part of the trade that brought us the #1 pick that became Caleb Williams. He's been a total pro, but $16.5 million for a receiver who put up 682 yards. That's just too much, especially when you've got Odunze, Burden, and other young receivers ready to take the next step. Here's the craziest part of all this. Kmet probably stays. I think Poles sees the value he brings as a blocker, sees his leadership in the locker room, sees that he can still contribute in a reduced role, but more, that's different. That contract is just too big for the production we're getting. So let me ask you, is it fair? Probably not. Is it necessary? Absolutely. Because when you've got a championship window open, when you've got Caleb Williams on a rookie deal, when you've got a chance to build something special, you can't afford to have money tied up in guys who aren't producing at their salary level. The Niners didn't hesitate to move vets when they needed space. The Chiefs have been ruthless with roster decisions. The Eagles, The Cowboys. Every team chasing rings has to make these tough calls. Now it's our turn. Komet said it best. You might call it serious or scary. I'd say in my first 2 years in the league, it catches you off guard how ruthless this business can be. But I think at this point in my career, you accept it and understand it's just part of the deal. That maturity, that understanding, that's exactly why I think Komet has a future here. But more, with that contract and that production. I wouldn't be shocked if we see his name in trade rumours before the draft. How do you feel about this? Should we keep both? Or is it time to make the hard moves to improve elsewhere? Third story, Khalil Mack. And just when you thought we were done, here comes the real curveball. What I'm about to say is going to make some of you jump out of your seats and others think I've lost my mind. But hear me out, because this makes more sense than you think. Khalil Mack could be coming back to Chicago. Yeah, that Khalil Mack, the one who broke our hearts when he got traded to the Chargers, the one who was part of the best defense we've had in the last decade, the one who helped us win the division in 2018. And before you start saying he's old, he's not the same, this is just nostalgia. Let me explain why this could be a genius move. The Chargers just lost their defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter, who took the head coaching job in Baltimore. That puts Mack in an interesting spot. Sure, he could follow Minter to the Ravens, but here's the question. Why would he do that when he could join a team that's 2 wins away from a Super Bowl? Let's be real. The Ravens don't have the defensive talent we do. They don't have Austin Booker breaking out. They don't have Montez Sweat dominating off the edge. They don't have the youth and upside that Chicago brings to the table. And here's the other thing. Playing under Minter didn't exactly help Mack. The guy went from 17 sacks in 2023 to just 11.5 over the last 2 seasons combined. Sure, age played a role, but it also shows that reuniting with Minter isn't a guaranteed fix. You know what could spark him again? Coming home, coming back to Chicago, coming back to the city where he became a legend. Now let's be clear, Mack is 34. He's not the same wrecking ball he was in his prime. He had just 5.5 sacks in 12 games this season and missed a month with an elbow injury. But here's what I believe. We don't need Mack to be that dominant force anymore. We don't need 15 sacks and an all-pro season. We need a veteran leader. We need a mentor for Booker and our young pass rushers. We need his experience, his knowledge, his championship mindset. And anything he gives us on the field, that's just a bonus. Think about it. Dennis Allen is our defensive coordinator. Allen knows the value of having vets who can teach the young guys. He knows how to use experienced players in specific roles where they can still make an impact without carrying the whole load. Mack in a rotational role, playing 20 to 30 snaps a game, staying fresh for third downs, teaching Booker the tricks of the trade. That's gold for a young team learning how to win in January and February. And here's what gets me most excited. Mack has already said his goal this offseason is to win a championship. So let me ask you, where does he have the best shot? In Baltimore, rebuilding after losing Lamar? In LA, with a Chargers team that's lost and directionless? Or in Chicago, where we were 2 wins from the Super Bowl? I'll tell you this, if Mack's being honest with himself about where he's got the best shot at a ring, Chicago is the obvious answer. The familiarity with the city, the organization, the culture, it all matters. Mack played 4 years here. He knows what it means to wear navy and orange. He knows the passion of this fan base. He knows how special it would be to win a title in Chicago. And from our side, what's the risk? We're probably talking about a 1-year deal, maybe 2, with minimal guaranteed money. Low risk, huge upside. Because here's the truth. We're going to play a first-place schedule next year. We're going to face the best of the best. We're going to be under massive pressure to prove this season wasn't a fluke. And with a roster as young as ours, it won't hurt to have as many proven vets like Mack as we can get. Look at what happened in the playoffs this year. The big moments, the tight games. That's where experience makes the difference. That's where having someone who's been there, who knows how to handle the pressure, who can calm the young guys down when things get tense, that's priceless. And you know what else? Imagine the emotional impact of that announcement. Khalil Mack returns to Chicago. The city would go nuts. Fans would lose their minds. The energy around this team would skyrocket. I'm not saying Mack is the difference between winning and losing the Super Bowl, but I am saying he could be one of the pieces that helps us get there. He could be the vet who keeps everyone locked in when things get tough. He could be the mentor who turns Austin Booker into a superstar. And honestly, after everything Mack gave this franchise, after how hard he played for us those 4 years, wouldn't it be poetic if he came back to help us win the title we never got together? I think so. I think there's something special about this possibility. I think Ryan Poles should be on the phone right now, figuring out how to make it happen. What do you think? Are you ready to see Khalil Mack back at Soldier Field? Or do you think it's better to leave the past in the past and focus only on the future? Look, these 3 stories paint a clear picture of what's coming for the Chicago Bears. We're talking about aggressive trade moves with Max Crosby. We're talking about tough financial decisions with Komet and more. We're talking about an emotional return with Khalil Mack. But all of it points to one thing. Ryan Poles is building something special. He's making the hard calls that great GMs have to make. He's balancing the now with the future. He's maximizing our championship window. So here's my question to you. Which of these moves do you think would have the biggest impact on our title chances? Is it bringing in Crosby and creating that 2-headed pass rush? Is it freeing up cap space to strengthen other areas? Or is it bringing back Mack for that veteran leadership? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to know how you feel about the tough decisions ahead. And if you're as fired up as I am about the future of these Bears, if you want to be part of this community that lives and breathes navy and orange, if you want to stay on top of every move, every rumor, every headline coming out of Hollis Hall, then I need you to do one thing right now. Click that subscribe button. Join this growing family of Bears fans, because I promise you, we've got more bombshells coming in the next few weeks. We'll be here for every free agency move, every draft pick, every decision Ryan Poles makes. This is our season. This is our shot. And I want all of you on this ride with us as we chase the championship this city deserves. Bear down, Chicago. I'll see you in the next video.